This series is made possible by Honda South Africa, Liat, Insta360 and Cameras. Some scenes in this episode contains images of injuries that might disturb sensitive viewers.
Hallo?
Pierre Jacques het baie hard neergeval gekom. Ons is so 10 kilo so die grondpad buite Boshoff.
Hoe lyk hy? Het hy seer gekry?
Nee, hy gaan nie kan ry nie.
Hy nie kan ry nie.
Nee, hy sê nie ry nie. Sy fiets is op kort toe.
Ja, skielik ek sê dit geval het
Ek sê Paul.
Kan Paul wees. Fyn is, want ons nou maar gat skoon maak met daai kop.
When I found him, he was knocked out, so.
It was Skulk, and it looked bad.
Ek kan nie eens jou sê wat het gebeur nie, ek weet nie.
Wel, jy het die buitenkant ingeval. Ja,
daarom.
maar al jou parte is nog hier.
Okay.
Ons sal dalk net 'n bietjie moet werk aan dit.
Dit moet keer niks is net. Dis hierdie hand.
Kopperheid hier hierso staan. Nee, maar ek dink jy het 'n bietjie serieus hartskeiding ook. Dan hoor 'n bietjie. Nee. Nog 'n bietjie vir my. Dit was lekker op die kop en op die neus en op die lip en op die
Wat is raak?
dit was raak.
Dit lyk so.
Dit was raak.
The ambulance was on its way. All we could do was wait and load Skulk's badly damaged Africa twin. The pain was getting worse, and all we could do was strap his broken arm in an attempt to minimize the movement.
Beter. Nie beter nie, maar bedoel beter.
One of those Chinese things. I don't know how that works.
Ja. Jy het die ambulansman na hier punt gegooi.
With the bike loaded and all the debris cleared away, we decided to send the group up ahead to the overnight accommodation, while Fani and I stayed behind, joined by a group of kind-hearted local farmers who helped us load Skulk into the ambulance.
Skulk, ek hou jou keer sien goed by my. Ek is agter jou, ons nou al die pad saam ons doen.
Any allergies? Are you allergic to any medication?
No.
By the time the ambulance set off with Skulk on board, it was early evening, with a violent thunderstorm brewing right in front of us. We led the ambulance on the bumpy gravel road and through the darkness of the thunderstorm, arriving at the hospital in Kimberley an agonizing 5 hours after the crash.
So, things are as follows. We have one bike that crashed but is still with us, and we have another bike that is potentially totally written off, and a rider in the hospital in Kimberley, probably for the next 3 days. A lot of things missing and gone and broken. But we must continue, and we will take care of him now. We'll quickly stop at the hospital to check if he's okay. yesterday was such a blur when it ended. But hey, we had 4 hours of sleep. And there's only 7 days of riding ahead. So what can you do about it?
Hey, hands up!
Today will be the second day of our tour to reach the Sidetracked with Honda weekend in the Cederberg. A Footpeg Diaries social ride to end off the year in style. The planned route for today takes us past Lukhof, Verlatenkloof Dam, De Aar, Britstown, Victoria West and Fraserburg before we end in the quaint Karoo town of Loxton. But first, we need to get through the morning traffic in the city of Kimberley. Everyone quickly settles into their comfort zone as we stretch our legs down the N12. This easygoing stretch also gives me an opportunity to discover one of the new features on my Africa Twin. An adjustable windscreen. I mean, who would have guessed?
Cheers, cheers. Ja, het is op pad Tankwa toe.
O, lekker.
Ja, ja.
So vir 'n week of 2.
Vir die naweek en dan weer terug.
Jenne.
Ja, ja. Chop, chop.
Sterkte, geniet.
Dankie man, cheers.
Rian was racing ahead with his black Africa Twin Adventure Sport, seemingly unfazed by the new model's 19-inch front wheel on the first gravel of the day, while some of us took it a little slower, getting to grips with the dirt road.
Hoe voel jy?
Right, hoor.
Is jy okay?
Ja, daai eerste ruk moes jy 'n bietjie settle vir dit, ja.
Ja, ja.
Ek voel okay, ja.
Alright. Ek wil jou my raad gee en dan ek gaan saam met jou ry, okay? As 'n mens stadiger ry, so 60, 70, dan maak dit 'n groter impak op jou wiele en goedes. Dan dis meer onstabiel. Okay. Hierso is altyd 2 tracks waar die pad die mooiste is. Dis presies hierso, né? So jy kyk mooi lekker ver voor jou, bly in daai track, ontspan. Okay, laat die bike doen wat hy moet doen.
Ja.
Okay, wees net lekker ontspanne. As jy voel iets is nie lekker nie, druk jy hoeter en dan stop ons 'n bietjie, okay? Sharp. voel jy? Is dit sap? Okay, een ding. Jou regtervoet. Moenie jou toon op die rem sit nie. Ek het nou gesien jou remreg is aan. So dit beteken jou toon is op die rem. So skuif jou voet 'n bietjie terug.
Okay, so Hein fell, open fracture on the elbow. So we're tracking back now. We're going to put him in the delivery van and ride another 140 k's back to where we started this morning to now get Hein to a hospital. It's going to be another long day.
On arrival at the crash scene, I'm shocked to see the state of both the motorcycle and the rider. Hein's Leert neck brace showed signs of an impact. It clearly did the job it was designed for. He had an open fracture just above the elbow, with bone fragments protruding from the skin. An ambulance was already on its way, but an injury like this can be life-threatening if we can't stop the bleeding. So, we decide not to wait for the ambulance, but rather evacuate Hein to the nearest medical care facility where his bleeding wound can be attended to.
Met die ander arm.
Nee, ons sal jou help. Ek wil net jy moet net voorberei daarvoor. Ons gaan ek doen. As jy sê dis onmoontlik om los ons. Right. Maar anders gaan jy net die bike ry.
We notify the ambulance en route from Kimberley of the new rendezvous point at the local clinic in the town of Lukov. The paramedics notify us that it'll take at least 2 hours to reach us. For now, we are the only help Hein can hope for.
Strap om jou maag sit en 'n strap hier bo.
We stabilize Hein as best we can and plan to load him into the support vehicle for the 20-kilometer drive to the Lukov clinic. While we're strapping him up, Hein shares a story that speaks volumes about his fearless personality.
Ek right. Julle ouens gaan lag dat ek julle storie vertel. So 5 jaar terug kry ek 'n gier om te gaan vlieg. En hoe meer ek van die vliegtuig kyk, hoe minder hou ek van die vliegtuig, want die cockpit is te klein. Ek besluit toe eendag nie 'n power paramotoring gaan nie doen.
Ja, dis maar
Seker is vir die 5de dag van trein nie. Toe styg ons op en wind gee my nie genoeg kans om op te styg en weet soos ek vleer ek nie genoeg nie. Dan my voete haak die grond. Maar ek is full blast hoor.
Router op jou rug.
Yes, maar hy motor op die rug, maar ek val hoor. Maar ek word wakker. Toe ek wakker word, nou staar jy so na die grond. Jy weet, want jy sit met 'n sonbril aan. Maar die petrol, die toestrook loop so oor jou hoor. Nou dink ek net asseblief moenie dat hierdie ding nou spark nie hoor. Ja,
Jy gaan niks spark. Niks gaan spark nee.
Ja, okay.
Anja skoene is los weg.
Sien jy beweeg?
Okay.
We suspect that Hein got high-sided and the tumbling bike probably crashed down on his arm, leading to the terrible fracture.
Ek gaan gou weer die ambulansmense bel en hoor hulle.
The call was made to send the group on ahead with Adrian to our overnight stop on a shorter and less technical route, while Frans, Armani, Fani and I stay with Hein. For the second day in a row, we were split into two separate groups. While we were helping Hein and the nursing staff, the group were already sightseeing over the Orange River.
Niksie.
The Verlatenkloof Dam is the second largest dam in South Africa, with a capacity of 3.2 million cubic meters. And with the highest dam wall in the country, at 108 meters, it's worth a visit. Two and a half hours after the accident, Hein's ambulance finally arrives.
Is he stable enough? The ambulance people will make the call. They have the equipment, they have the medication. Then they'll take him to Kimberley. But do we go long, or are we just in the way if we're there? Because there's nothing we can do but stand in the way.
The paramedics skillfully redressed Hein's wound and prepared him for the long ride back to Kimberley. Adrian and the rest of the group were well on their way to Philipstown when we started loading Hein in the ambulance. We made the call not to follow Hein back to the hospital in Kimberley, but to rather try and catch up with the group once we made sure that he's taken care of.
Cheers my bro. Ek het net lekker saam gery vanoggend. Dit was so lekker. Cheers daai.
Ek kan nou verder.
Ek gaan net jou mediese fonds kaartjie en jou driver's license gaan ek dit met my hou.
Dankie Alva.
Ja, ons gaan vir leer hoe maak ons aan Kimberley toe.
Hey, dankie Alva.
After an emotional farewell, it's nearly 2:30 when we leave Hein with the ambulance and start chasing the rest of the group on the expected 6-hour ride to Loxton. We start off 2 hours behind, but we knuckle down and catch up with them little by little, closing the gap with every town we ride through. riding directly into the sunset. With the weight of Hein's accident still heavy on our shoulders, and exhausted by the day's torturing tar grind, we pick up the pace and push a little harder as the kilometers keep ticking over during this last hour towards our destination.
Nou het ons baie gery.
So the second day of our trip, Sidetracked with Honda, the tour part of it, getting down to the Cederberg, it was quite emotional and eventful and traumatic day. Yeah.
At some stage I broke. I snapped. Not I snapped like frustration, but I just emotionally,
Overwhelmed.
I gave up. Maybe that's why I should have been on this trip. Maybe that's my why.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time with Hein this morning, riding with him at the back, trying, sort of to get him confident and comfortable. And he was doing amazingly well.
He had a smile from ear to ear.
He actually told us that at a stage he had tears in his eyes because, he felt this sense of accomplishment, that he was doing it. It was the biggest shock of my life to actually see the fall in front of me. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he fell. But
we're speculating it could have been a grab front brake and it ducked. It could have been a rock kicking out the rear wheel. We're not sure.
I was in the same track. When he fell, I knew that I was going to either hit the bike or him. I knew that I was going to go over him. I made peace with the fact in one split second that I'm also going to fall now.
And you're going to hit him? Well, did you hit him?
I don't know, I missed him. I saw the bike and him passing me on the right hand side and I went off the road into a ditch. And I don't know how I got the bike to stay upright, but again, how everybody pulled together and solved a massive, massive problem.
The caliber of human being you meet on these adventures.
After a long day's ride, the boys were seriously enjoying the debriefing session. Kappie and Dirk joined us from Grafernet's direction, en route to the weekend's event in the Cederberg. But they weren't the only ones. Skippy also popped over from Oudtshoorn to join in on the festivities that were becoming more and more rowdy by the minute.
Jy slap hoor. I'm willing to sacrifice one finger.
Jy moet dit nou inberen.
Nee, wag jy so.
This is my biological brother.
Wat beteken dit?
Dit beteken, ons is dieselfde pa.
In Loxton. If you're not here, then it's a mistake.
Ons maak 4 uur oop.
Goeiemôre, sonskyn. Did you guys sleep well?
Lovely. Close combat.
Oh! Contact!
You're snoring like a tractor.
You are Davey. Davey? Who's Dave? Yo.
Okay, moenie daai ding oop.
Okay. Dis ons kyk.
Môre.
Jy het nog nooit daai fabriek gesien.
Our guest house at the end of the street was directly across the town's auction kraals, and the guys were already outside working sheep since sunrise. And when we eventually got going, we headed straight for the breakfast spot.
Moes julle ietsie gevat het om beter te voel vanoggend?
Ek het nog 'n bietjie 'n ryuitrytjie ingetap.
Jy sit gereed.
Time for a jam-packed 3-egg omelette and a proper cup of coffee before we hit the first long stretch of dirt road. Today's route starts with 180 kilometers of gravel through Fraserburg towards Sutherland, then a short bit of tar before we ride through the Tankwa Karoo and head up Cederberg Pass into the majestic Cederberg, where we'll meet another big group of friends from the Cape joining us for the weekend's festivities. During last night's party, some of the riders convinced themselves that it's not necessary to do desperately needed tyre maintenance. This morning, of course, it's a different story.
Ek is nou so bly. Ek nou hier altyd net my dinge stop, my tire pressure so daai plak werk. Ja, hy bly waar hy is so.
Moenie karring nie.
If you're looking to ride the best gravel roads in South Africa, look no further than the dust highways of the Karoo. Even after a very eventful rainy season, almost all the roads here are in great condition. Do yourself a favor and come spend a few days in the Karoo. Come meet its people, ride its vistas, and rediscover your inner wanderer.
Ja, agter. Maar as jy shop, ek gaan nie.
Ja, julle kom maar. Ek en hy kom maar.
Nee, ons wag hier by jou. Ry jy, ek blag. Want ek sweep in elk geval. Okay, bye.
Wat het jy wat doen jy?
Ja, maar jy nou. Sy kom maar.
Hoekom?
Ja, jy ry so moeilik.
Nee, jy maak hom. Okay. Right. En dit is nou eers vir hierdie ouetjie uitsort.
While Fonnie was helping Kappie and Dirk, the rest of us were covering some serious distance in a short time, hightailing it through the Groot Karoo.
Jy gaan hom hier teen aan afvoer.
Dis hy.
Dis net dan.
die braaivleis ook hier binne, hoor. Ja. So vleisie om te braai?
Nee.
Nog nie?
And by the time they got going, the rest of the group was already way past the horizon, speeding ahead like a dusty bullet train.
Kom stamp hom net daar. Er gaan nog net een na in. Dis nou net daar by daai een.
They were eventually forced to stop in Fraserburg, long after the rest of the group passed through town.
Right. Attempt number 3, Dirk. We are actually going to take the tyre off the rim and we are going to put a gaiter on the inside of the tyre.
That's what it looks like.
Yes. It's got a long tear, so it makes it very difficult. The plugs are just not working. That other very impressive tool with the mushroom plug also, the first one went in and then we couldn't get it out. The rest of the guys are probably an hour and a half or 2 hours ahead of us now. So the three of us are going to now have a very intimate ride to probably Cederberg Oasis and meet up with him there.
Right. Dan gaan die loop. Maklik.
Waar jy Cederberg moet hier, waar gaan jy hier? Gaan nou Sutherland.
En dan gaan ons van Sutherland af Tankwa Karoo en daar Tankwa Pass, daar oasis op die berg daai kant.
Ja.
Ja. Dis mooi.
This is David and Andre.
Yes.
Okay, and they helped us here with this tyre, unbelievable. But we have to now franchise this machine here and this tyre repair shop. So we're going to have to put a sticker on it. So this is now an official tyre repair stop for Footpeg Diaries here in Fraserburg. Thanks, boys.
Awesome, sir. Right. Thanks, boys.
Up ahead, the group was now very close to the first fuel stop of the day in the town of Sutherland. But first, Skippy takes me and Rian with him on a quick detour.
Toevallig werk dit so uit dat ek elke Oktober in Sutherland is. Dink as hierdie is nou die 4de jaar in 'n ry. Ek Oktober hier kom. Toevallig. So ja. My ouma en my oupa. Ja.
Dinge wat 'n mens maak, né?
Ja.
En elke ou het 'n dryf vir iets want eintlik kom dit inherent van jou pa af. Dis geneties in jou.
Nee, verseker.
JM staan vir
Johannes Martinus.
Johannes Martinus.
Ja. Nou is weg. En dis dit.
Hoeveel van ons ken ons oupas en oumas se maas?
Niemand.
Nee, hierdie eindig 2-3 generasies en dis dit. Hoekom is hy hier begrawe?
Ons het hier gebly.
Julle hier gebly?
Ja. As mens nou die dorp uitry,
tweede laaste is 'n blinkerrand.
Ja.
So cream is dit soos vent op die erf.
Dankie dat ons hier mag wees.
Dankie dat julle gekom het.
After filling the bikes to the brim, we ride down the deceptively steep Verlatenkloof Pass. And manage to ride straight past the old toll house, nowadays better known as Chol se Gat. Naturally, we make an abrupt U-turn and head back up the pass to Chol's place for some well-earned refreshment.
Maar jy het nou eers hier verby gery net.
Ja, as die pad afdrag gemis.
Stop here and support Chol. You won't find a colder beer in a 200-kilometer radius. From here, it's only a short 16-kilometer sprint to the gravel turnoff heading into the heart of the Tankwa Karoo. This turns out to be one of the highlights of the trip. This is why we all rode more than 1,500 kilometers for these dirt roads, snaking through the multicolored Karoo bossies, over the hills and down into the low-lying Tankwa.
Pretty.
Is lekker of wat?
Ons het nou gestaan en wonder of Metty dit maar elke dag doen.
Ja, nee.
Meanwhile, Fani, Kappie and Dirk has just filled up in Sutherland and are hot on our heels, chasing down the pack. they're making good time, whizzing past Cholsegat without even stopping for refreshments. And in no time, they even catch up with a support vehicle. Up ahead, we're riding through the flat expanses of the Tankwa Karoo, homing in on the Tankwa Padstal, where a group of riders and some familiar faces are waiting to join us for the last stretch towards the Cederberg.
Danny!
Fanny is nog op die pad.
Ek hoor so. Kom ons gaan nuttig iets.
Ja, let's go and have a little something.
A mere 15 minutes later, Fani and the gang rocks up at Tankwa Padstal, making us a total of 30 riders heading to the Cederberg.
Is dit jy wat so spin om die draaie?
Ek doen nie dit nie. Jy ken my mos, ek doen nie dit nie.
Now, to climb up out of the Tankwa into the Cederberg Mountains.
What route is this? Katpakkies Pass. It's the prettiest road you'll take.
Riding the last 60 kilometers to our staging area for the event, Adrian and I are joined by Dani, our good friend that rode with us through the dunes of the Galagadi just a year ago. Just 3 old riding buddies, comfortably carving up the gravel track. It turns out to be the perfect way to end the day and start the weekend's Sidetracked with Honda experience as we crest the brow in formation and dip into the valleys of the Cederberg. Join us for our next episode when we kick off a mass adventure weekend in the Cederberg, filled with jaw-dropping scenery, challenging tracks, and rowdy fun, with riders from across the entire country in attendance. This episode was made possible by Honda, the power of dreams; Liat, the science of thrill; Insta360, magic in action; and Cameras, for all things photo and video.